Morning, everyone, and welcome to Keller Williams Northampton County Phenomenal Woman and Phenomenal Women series. This is Delise Huertas, and I'm so honored to be here interviewing Theresa Calantoni this morning, one of our office's mega agents. Good morning, Theresa.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I'm out of the office right now, down in Florida. So, just getting a little away from out of the cold for a little bit. So, I'm glad we were able to do this over Zoom because it definitely makes it a little bit easier.
I am too. I'd love to be there with you. That would have been great. We could have flew me over, and that would have been fun. But good for you, and thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us. We're excited. Just to hear a bit from you. You have so much that you can offer. And as one of the newer agents here at Keller Williams, I'm just excited to be able to get whatever information I can get from you just about who you are and how you became such a phenomenal woman in real estate. So let's get started. I'll ask you a couple of quick questions, and we look forward to your answers and your replies. Okay, so Theresa, tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Okay, so I'm a licensed real estate broker in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. I've been a Keller Williams broker since 2011. So January 2011 was when I started with Keller Williams, and I became a licensed realtor in 1999. And I got my broker's license in 2002, and then opened a real estate office in those years, and then merged with Keller Williams in 2011. So right now I have a team. We sell just strictly residential homes. New construction has been a big part of my business for many years. And we do some multifamily with investors, that kind of stuff. So I have a full-time administrative staff, buyer's agent, myself. We're a pretty small team, but we've been, it's been a great experience. I think Keller Williams has really changed my life as far as learning to build wealth through real estate, and we really focus on just offering a good client experience. We sell anywhere from 50 to about 90 homes a year, so pretty medium size. I think last year, with the pandemic and everything, it was just myself and admin, part-time buyer's agent. We did about 15 million in sales. So.
Mm-hmm. And that's great. As you mentioned, especially during the pandemic, that's not easy to do. So I admire that.
The market went a little crazy after it opened back up. So
that's true.
So it was like, foot on the gas, and let's get back to where we need to be, because it started out good and then we shut down, and then so we were able to catch up and make a decent year out of it. But I'm all about trying to leverage, and 22 years I've been doing this, so it's at this point it's about my time and having a big life, having a life that is worth having, and a career that's worth owning. It's just the balance is important to me.
Absolutely. And you do it well. You give a perception that it's almost easy, and we know it's not. So
no, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, I know. I love when I get approached by people that want to get into the business, and I think that they see that it seems like, I'm golfing during the week in the summer, and I'm, away in the winter, and it's all those early mornings and late nights and weekends, and
right.
that you don't see that's going on for sure. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
That can afford you the opportunity to do those other things that you really want to do. And I know that you are quite savvy in making that a part of your work-life balance as well, because in all of those things, we are who we are, so we can actually do business in many of those case scenarios. So good for you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've been fortunate in that situation. I've never had children, so I think if I had children, and I really respect the women who are able to, be home for the kids, and especially right now, and the kids are at home all the time, right. Not really going to school, and working, and that balance. I mean, fortunately for me, I could wake up early, I could work late, I could get in the things that I wanted to do, because I could structure my time a little bit different, because I didn't have to take care of someone else. So in that respect, it made it yeah, it made it a little bit easier for me to be able to do things that I enjoy doing, to give me that balance. So.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And that's a really good point. I'm glad that you said that, because one of the questions that we wanted to ask you was about your work-life balance and just how you do make it all work. You kind of spoke to that a little bit just now, and I think that this is a good time to ask that question, because it is a difference. It's a difference, like you said, when you have children and, when you have, other obligations in that way, and others who are relying on you in a different way than, of course, maybe if you don't have children. So not
Sure.
that that's the only thing, of course, though, that can cause you to still have to balance life, because you have many other, people that are still depending on you and relying on you. So how do you make that all work?
Well, I think it started, let's rewind a little bit. We'll start when I got to Keller Williams. I came in as the broker, and I knew it was a big responsibility. And at the time, Sean Morrow was the team leader, who is now one of our operating principals. But we worked together to help build the office. It wasn't this big number one office, and I can't take credit for it. Sean was really the driver behind building the office, but it gave me an experience to help with that, help with the building of the office, and earn a little bit of equity in our office and a couple other offices, and be able to build a little bit of passive income and some wealth through title shares and profit share and all those things. And at the end of the day, it does add up. And my point of saying that is that it gives you a little bit of freedom to have that income coming in, that you realize I don't have to have my foot on the gas all the time. Like, there is another way to do this, because real estate is really driven by commission, right? If we don't stick any more signs in the yard or pick up any more leads, we're not going to eat, right? So knowing that I needed to just get a little bit more, and I turned 30 right at that time. So it was like, okay, now is the time where I need to start making some moves here to build some wealth, so that in the future I have an exit strategy. And I'm the kind of person where I work to live, right? And I can tell you that I see many people who are in this business for 40, 50 years, and that is fantastic that they can do that. I'm more of like, I think when there's going to come a certain time where I'm not going to want to do this anymore, I'm going to want to work on some other things in my life. And so I realized that I had to build wealth in order to, that was going to pay me, where I didn't have to show up every day with my foot on the gas. So I hired an admin, an administrative person right away. And that's a big step for a lot of people. I see a lot of agents that struggle to do that maybe want to have that leverage, but aren't sure how to get there, because it's a big commitment. Once you hire somebody, you're responsible for them. You're accountable to them, and so it's like, I look at it as, it's like having a roof over your head. You're gonna go to work. You're gonna pay your mortgage, right? This is no different. This is part of my business. This is a driver in my business. So when I finally found the right hire for that, I realized, okay, I have to take care of this person, and I have to take care of myself. Now, this is part of my family, right? And I realize in real estate, the beauty of real estate is we can do anything, and your income can be unlimited. And some people don't want to build a team or don't want to have that leverage. They just want to go out and sell and do what they have to do. And that's fantastic. For me, it was, in order to get the balance and get where I wanted to go, I needed to hire some people to help me do that. And I needed to hire some people who their strength was my weakness, And so together, we would make a good team. And that was one of the things I learned at Keller Williams, how to personality profile in a way that, okay, this person really loves this. That's not really my thing. I need to hire that person because we have the same core values and we're going to work together, which I felt was very important. I hired a business coach and had a business coach for at least 18 months when I came to Keller Williams, to teach me how to hire people and how to work with their personalities. I think one of the hardest things I've ever done as far as a business owner is hire people and manage personalities. That is by far way more difficult than sticking a sign in a yard or writing a contract,
Absolutely.
I really, and truly, and investing in people has given me the opportunity to be able to sit here down in Florida and talk to you. It's been, that was one of the best things that I ever did. And for me, it worked, and it works, but like I said, I know it's not for everybody.
Well, I love that you said that, and the way that you said that, investing in people, because that is actually key. And I think there's so many of us who have been in real estate for quite some time that understand that it is about investing in people, whether it be the people that are your clients and you're investing your time and energy and effort into them and helping them get to a certain quality of life, but also investing in those around us. Real estate can be seen as such an individualized career, a personal career. It's just you and you're independent in so many ways, but independence doesn't mean that you have to be alone. And you made a really good point that you also picked someone and people that you could invest in, but that were also investing in you and helping you get where you needed to go. So definitely that team effort that Keller Williams promotes. So I love it.
Yeah, and the truth is, and that's a very good point that you make. There's no way I could be where I am today without the help of other people. It's not, you're not in it alone. I think every person, has a driver behind them at different stages in their life that helps them get to where they need to be.
Absolutely. So I get, Theresa, then, what people have been people in your life that have either motivated, encouraged, or inspired you, whether it be professionally or personally?
Wow, that's a loaded question. So there have been many, many people over the years that have helped me. And I'm going to say that experiences, good and bad, right? Failing forward is so important. I think that different stages, when I started in real estate, I was 18 years old. I didn't know anything. I mean, really, I didn't. And I didn't really know anything about life either at that point.
Right.
It was like, I'm learning how to be an adult and I'm learning how to sell real estate. It was quite an interesting time. So I would say that, my brokers and agents in the office when I first started were very helpful, and they took me in and showed me the business. And then I jumped from there to a family business where I sold real estate, and it was family members who, whether you're learning what to do or what not to do, right? Sometimes people teach you what not to do too.
Absolutely.
So there were levels there of working in a family business and dealing with that dynamic. And then branching out and opening my own real estate company with a commercial broker. That was an interesting time too. It was right as the market started to tank in 2008. And it was a great time to open a real estate office because a lot of people were getting out of the business. And for us, having that dynamic where I partnered with a commercial broker, we didn't overlap with each other. I didn't do commercial, he didn't do residential. So I feel like we had a great partnership, and we actually did pretty well in those times. And then merging with Keller Williams was quite a turning point because, it's this big national franchise and there's so much to learn and there's all this technology. And then I got into an office where I was the broker, and we had over 200 agents at one time. And believe me, that was also an experience that was very difficult to manage. It was hard to manage the business, hard to manage the brokerage, and then have a personal life. And I really think that had I had, children to take care of at home and that kind of thing, I may have not been able to do all that. I was able to devote that time. And in those years, the market was starting to come back. I remember having to do, open houses Saturday and Sunday for many, many years in order to just make it work, make the business work, and fulfill my obligations to my clients and my staff and all that kind of stuff. So there were a lot of experiences and a lot of people that have helped me grow through this time and get to where I am. It's hard to pinpoint one person. I don't think that would be fair. It's been at different levels and breaking through different ceilings and getting to different points in my life. There's just been different people that have helped me. And I will say one thing that has given me opportunities to do things that I would have never been able to do is anybody who knows me knows I'm an avid golfer. And I remember I joined my first country club back when I was about 22 years old. And I think those experiences and looking at, and the average age was like 70, right? So I'm seeing all of these older people and how they've lived their lives. And it was quite an experience for me to say, wow, how did they get there? What did they do? And then you're spending 4 hours on a golf course with somebody. And I really think that those experiences through golf have helped me groom my life discipline wise in business and in personal, and the way that you treat the people around you, whether it's somebody that's bringing you a cup of coffee or or whatever you're doing, right? It was that experience, being able to play golf and be a part of a club, really groomed my life at a pretty young age. It taught me a lot about living and work and ethic and what people are doing and how they manage it, and it helped me manage things. So I would say that's been like the one constant that I can say I look forward to it. I mean, I sometimes wish we lived in a southern state where I could golf all year round, but we got 20 weeks out of the year, and I got to make the most of it. So.
Yes, and it seems like you absolutely have. Listen, it was so much in that answer. I'm hanging on the edge of my seat. There was so much in that answer, and I love that. I did hear a little birdie told me that you are actually a golf pro.
I'm not a golf pro. No, that's a rumor. That is not true. I am not a golf pro. I don't know who told you that. I'm not anywhere near that.
It was a little birdie, but well, a pro meaning I guess that you were just that good at it, not that you just enjoyed it, because many of us have these hobbies that we like and we get involved in, but that you're really good at it. So maybe pro in that sense, or more professional than most of us would be. But the fact that you use that to find ways to actually groom yourself in business and in life, I think that's amazing. You said too that you learned different ethical types of ways of working with people, just by watching a lot of these other people and handling people, whether they were serving you or whether they were the people that you were playing with. Again, I think there's so much in that answer, and I just can't wait to discuss it with some of the other people in the office that are going to be privy to this information. But that's a good one. Well, I think that if indeed I have heard anything from you, I've heard that this has really been a part of your life from a very young age. And one of the questions that I wanted to ask you was, why real estate? And at first I thought maybe it doesn't apply, but I think it does even more so. So
that's an interesting question. So when I got out of high school, I decided that college I didn't want to go to school for another 4 years, right? So I remember thinking, and I was 17 years old when I graduated from high school, and I remember thinking, what am I going to do? I'm not sure here. I'm not sure what I wanted to do. And like I said, the one thing I knew I didn't want to do was sit in a classroom for another 4 years. It just wasn't for me. I wanted to get out, and I wanted to work, and I wanted to do something. So I started researching, and I decided to take courses at community college, which they used to offer them back then, to get my real estate license. So I went to Northampton Community College, got my, it was one semester. I got my real estate license, and then I got hired, by a broker, and I decided, all right, well, let's try to make this work. And I figured at that time, it was the one thing where I could get in, I could make some money, and I could be a professional. And I didn't have to go to school, get a degree, for 4 years, and then get hired by a company. I could choose and create my own business. And so I did. And in those early years of real estate, I went to school and got my broker's license, because back then we didn't have the team concept. Now you almost don't need a broker's license, but then that was how I knew to get a pay raise. Was let me go get my broker's license, because now I can take this to a different level. And I thought, now's the time. I'm young, I can do this. Let me go back to school and finish that. So I did. And that was really how I got into real estate. I chose it because I wanted to just be a professional, and I didn't want to have to go to school for 4 years. And then so here I am 22 years later, and I'm still
I guess it was a pretty good choice for you.
It worked out, I guess, at this point. So
looks like it did. At least it does to me. So good for you. And again, having that ability to choose, and then choosing something that you became so good at, that's phenomenal. I love it. Well, I guess the only other question, Theresa, and again, thank you so much for doing this and just taking the time to be here with us. I really appreciate it. I know everyone else who's going to be able to benefit from just having this conversation with you is going to really, really appreciate this. But one last question for you before we get ready to go. I think about this. I remember a season, in life where I was a new agent. And when I say new, I mean I had just received my license. You just spoke to the fact that you were only 17, 18 years old when you first got into the business. I think that I would appreciate a little bit of a thought to this question. If you could go back in time to when you first received your real estate license, you're going to go back. You're that new agent, Theresa Calantoni, that just got her license, just came out of school, raring to go, excited to get into the business. What would be that one thing that you would actually tell her?
Wow, there's a lot of things that I would tell her. So I think, let me think about this for 1 second. So the one thing that would make the most difference, I would say, when I started to sort of fast track myself to get into, to become successful at the business, and that success varies. That word is a word that varies for each person because there's many levels of success. But I would go back and tell her to, experience as much as you can, fail as much as you can, and surround yourself with as many good people as you can that are doing whatever it is you want to do, because they will help you get to where you want to go. And, I think when we start, we don't know where to go, right? We're just doing whatever's coming at us, because you want to get that lead, you want to do what, I find that I see that with agents, they're just, you're like, oh my God, whatever comes my way, let's take it. I think I would say, focus on where you want to go, surround yourself with those people, and you need other people to help you get to where you want to be. You can't do it by yourself. And I think that's very important. And I tell a lot of agents that, and I see this a lot, we have a coaching program at Keller Williams, right? Which is fantastic. It's very, very helpful to the agents. I see that the agents who jump on a team too, who are a match for a team, you can tell it's a little bit of a fast track for them to learn the business, right? Because they're working with a bunch of people, and they have, somebody helping them answer the phone, and somebody helping them go on an appointment, and somebody to cover for them so they can have a life, right? Because real estate, you're out there by yourself. You wear so many hats in the real estate transaction when you're a single agent. It's way more difficult than people realize when they get into it. So having that support where you have somebody that can help you do this, or you want to go to the kids' game, I'll show that house for you, like that kind of thing. Having that support and that balance, I think really, really helps. And then having somebody you can fall back on when times are tough, who's experienced the things that you have not yet experienced, is extremely important. And we have a broker, but the broker's so overwhelmed, it's very difficult. You need that extra added support. So I would say surround yourself with people who can help you get where you want to go, because that's going to be the ticket.
I love that. I think that's so true, because we thrive, I believe, in community. So I think that's a really good point. I think, honestly, there's so much. I can't wait to sit down and look at this and capture this information. You have just been delightful to speak with. You're easy to talk to, and just so full of information and just wisdom, especially when it comes right now to the real estate business. And we really appreciate you taking the time to just talk to us about that. I think that the one thing that I'm going to take away from this conversation, more so than anything, is the idea of failing forward. I may give you a call later to say, hey, can you unpack that a little bit more for me?
Sure, yeah. Please, I'm happy. And you can reach out to me anytime. And if we need to, extend this interview or do anything additional, or if Reggie looks at it and says, hey, there's too many and whatever.
Why don't we do this? Because he can edit it, but we'll close it. So thank you again, Theresa. We really appreciate you taking the time to be a part of the phenomenal women of the Keller Williams Northampton County Real Estate Market Center. You are amazing. We appreciate your time and look forward to the next time that we get to speak with you.
Thanks, Theresa. I appreciate it. It was great being here.